Hey, what's up, guys? I hope that you are doing well. And I wanted to create this video just to very briefly look at the market, do a quick market snapshot, and then sort of answer the question of what is the impact of elections on the real estate market. A lot of people have a lot of speculation, and the stakes always feel very, very high when it comes to elections. If your candidate gets in, it's going to be fine. If they don't, the world's going to fall apart. So, what does that really mean from a history perspective of what the last few elections have done in terms of the real estate market? So, we're going to cover that. So, let's just briefly look at what the market has done here. So, coming back to, I'm just going back all the way back 10 years, 2014, to look at the median sales price, where we were back then to where we are now. So as you can see, we have gone up dramatically. And even if we look at the last 3 years, we still haven't peaked in terms of where we were in July of 2022, but we're coming back. And so it's appearing, and of course, anything can happen, but it's appearing that the market had somewhat of a bottom in 2023, end of 2022, beginning of 2023, and then it slowly climbed out. And so same thing if we look at the average sales price, we've seen that we're sort of climbing up. We look at the whole MLS here. This is just Washington State, and then we're looking at Bellingham and Whatcom County. We're seeing that it's coming back up. It's really coming back up. New listings is coming back up. In entire MLS up 10%, Bellingham up 2%, Whatcom County up 4.3%. So the market has been coming back. So when we look at mortgage interest rates too, mortgage interest rates have been coming down from their peak in October of 2023, where we were high sevens, low eights. We're now in those low sixes. Now, the Federal Reserve is supposed to cut rates, do their first rate cut in a long time in September 17th. They're expected to do probably two more cuts after that. So it's very likely that we will see these mortgage interest rates continue to tick down. And so what we will likely expect is the demand to pick back up. Now, the rates have been coming down and the demand hasn't necessarily exactly correlated to the rates coming down a little bit. Demand's just supposedly just picked up. That hasn't necessarily been the case, but slowly over time, we will see the demand pick up as rates continue to decline, which we are anticipating that will happen. Now, to the next part of, well, what about this election? What does that mean for the real estate market? I'm not doing anything until after the election. That's something that we often hear in an election year. And so let's just look at this here. So this is from Keeping Current Matters of the last 9 of 11 presidential elections. Home sales actually went up. Looks like they went down a little bit in the 1980, 81, and then also in 89, 88, 89. But then every other time since then, the home sales went up the year after an election. So home prices went up 7 of the last 8 presidential elections. The only one that didn't go down here from here was the 2008, which was considered the greatest recession since the Great Depression, which is it was a real estate driven recession, real estate driven depression, essentially. So that was the only time that we saw an election year happen in 2008, and then 2009 prices continued to decline, and then they just started to rise again back in 2012. So what does that mean? Let's go back one more thing. Let's look at mortgage rates. Mortgage rates typically come down. 8 of the last presidential elections, mortgage rates have come down. And it's very likely that no matter who's in office, who you're supporting, that mortgage interest rates are going to be coming down by the Federal Reserve's indication that they are going to continue to cut interest rates into 2025. So it doesn't matter who is in office, interest rates are very likely going to come down. So it's likely that no matter the outcome of this election, from a real estate perspective only, it's likely that next year, 2025, will be better in terms of home sales and in terms of well, equal to or better than this year in terms of home values. Home values will likely continue to rise as demand rises. We'll probably see more sales as interest rates decline and people feel like they're able to make more lateral moves. So we'll see more homes on the market. And so that is my kind of prediction. And that's kind of sort of debunking the myth that, after elections, the world falls apart in terms of real estate. So again, we're just talking about real estate here. We're not talking about anything else. There is one quote, though, that I will share and end on this, and it's from Morgan Housel, who wrote a great book called The Psychology of Money. And he made this point of things that have never happened before happen all the time. And so, we are great at looking back at history, but we're not so great at predicting the future. And so we never really know what's going to happen. But what we do know is that based on the previous elections that we've looked at, the impact has been more positive for real estate than it has been negative. So I want to hear what you guys had to think about this. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Until next time, take care.